The following movie is rated I.
What's going on in Cheezy's garage today, you may ask? BLUETTI 537 watt-hour portable power station. This one's that's got some weight to it compared to the smaller one, the 300 watters. It's twice as heavy, I bet. Fancy. This comes with a 2-year hassle-free warranty. Very impressive. 2 years. 537 watt-hour portable power station. You can charge it up to 400 watts input, and that's impressive. It has a 537 watt-hour battery. Let's see what's in the box. It's got some weight to it. Ooh, that definitely has some weight to it. So it has power selectors for each section. The 12 volt output, the 5 volt output, and the 110 volt output. Look at that, it's got 4 outlets. And then the input. 2 different adapters. Let's see. Well, that's about 80% charged. It does have wireless charging on the top. Fast charging. I believe that goes with this section. The USB 5 volt section. Let's see. Yeah, went away. Let's turn it back on. Takes a few seconds. There it is. 2, 3 watts. It'll do 15, it says. Oh, we're up to 8. If that screen goes off, you could tap any of them, it won't shut it off, just to turn it back on. So it's charging my Samsung S20 Ultra at 8 watts right now. Pretty neat. 9 watts. It's going up, going down. Let's see how pretty the sine wave is on this. That shorter slot is the hot. The longer slot is the neutral. This has a hole that'll accommodate the ground on a grounded outlet, but of course it's not going to ground it because that means this would have to be grounded. Alright, let's turn it on. Oh, that's a mighty purty sine wave right there. That's nice. I think that's the cleanest sine wave I've seen on any of these. 59.8 to 60.24 hertz. So about 112 volts true RMS. Very impressed with this unit so far. This is a good size comparison. This is a unit I reviewed about a week ago. It's not twice as large, but it sure feels twice as heavy. 16.1 ounce. So it's a little more than twice as heavy as the 300 watt units I've tested. This unit does not have a light. It's probably a little heavy for you to carry around. This end has a fan. Oh, look at this. I said it didn't have a light. Oh wow, that's a big room light. Holy cow. I'm going to have to close my eyes and do it. Hold it. So it's got low, high, which what's it drawing for watts? Draws about 4 watts on high and SOS. Well, that's not an O. It's supposed to be 3 dots, 3 dashes, and another 3 dots. Wow, look at the size of that power adapter for charging. That's huge. And the 120 volt adapter has this round, small round plug. Looks like a Dell, the Dell computers. And it plugs into there. Then we have a 12 volt adapter for charging. And that plugs into the other plug receptacle. And they even send a solar panel adapter, which is nice, and that plugs into the yellow adapter. Pretty awesome. And a little BLUETTI wire keeper. So let's plug this in. See how many watts it charges at. 110 volts. You can hear the little fan kick on. $199 watt input for charging. 200 watts it went up to. So yeah, this is pretty impressive charging. I bet you it charges pretty fast. Let's try the 12 volt charger. Let's see how that does. Wow, it went up to 201 watts when I unplugged it. Must have a pretty good capacitor in here. It kept that fan running for a couple seconds. Well, that's it. They wound it counterclockwise. Give it a bad review. This goes into the orange plug. Wow, nice tight fit.
That's what she said.
So it charges about 20 watts. Let's go over a few specs. This LCD screen seems like it stays on about 15-20 seconds. So it says that you could charge this on solar and on 12 volt or 120 volt. Just went off. You hit any of these and it'll turn that display back on. Up to 400 watts. You can use both of these plugs. May as well charge it while we're going over the specs, because before doing any tests this has to be fully charged. I'm gonna have to find something that draws a little more power to do a good draw test on this. We're doing 201 watts right now. It says when you turn this off, it takes 2 seconds for the screen to shut off after everything's shut off. You got an economy mode icon, your battery capacity of course. This section's your input power. There's a little battery here that'll alert you when the power's low and it's ready to die. Oh, 203 watts, look at that. There's a temperature alert right there. Can't see it, but hopefully we never see it. There's an overload. It spells out overload when you're over the maximum capacity of this unit. There's another part here that says short, if it's shorted. It says there's a settings mode in here. And it says to enter it, it says hold the AC and DC buttons at the same time to enter a setup mode. Oh, that's for 50 or 60 hertz. So you could change the frequency if you need to. If you want to turn off the economy mode, which apparently I did. This is rated at 700 watts with a 1500 watt surge. So it's actually bigger than I thought it was. So the output on these are 700 watts. Oh, it says it right there. Just got to read, Cheezy. As I said before, it's a 537 watt hour battery that's built in this. So of course if you're drawing 700 watts you're not going to go for an hour. If you draw 537 watts it'll probably go for just under an hour because you have internal, losses of course. Alright, that says it's got a LiFEP4 lithium battery built in this. I'm not up on the lithium stuff, but I'm going to look it up. I'm sure you guys will know. Claims 16.5 pounds, and we saw what the weight was on my scale over there. Working humidity is from 10 to 90%. It says working discharge temperature is -4 to 104 degrees. Charging temperature is 32 to 104. So the USB-C is rated at 100 watt output. These USB-As are rated at 5 volt 3 amp. The AC output 110 to 120 volts at 700 watts with 4 receptacles, and it is a pure sine wave, and it's actually a very clean sine wave, pretty good, best one I've seen yet. The DC output, all of these are 10 amp, and of course you have your DC input, which that can take a solar panel, and you can charge up to 400 watts with both of them connected. And then you have your LCD display panel. That looks like 10 and 7/8 wide, 7 and 5/8 high. By the widest point looks like 7 and 15/16. Very nice built unit. Of course, the larger units, you're starting to spend a little more money. Man, this should be able to run like a small air conditioner. Very impressed with this unit. If you're looking for something that's around 700 watts and a 2-year warranty, no questions asked, that's pretty good. So 700 watts at 110 volts, 7.83 amps. Pretty good to get almost 8 amps out of a unit this size. Technology's coming a long way, boys. So we're going to let this charge up, and then when it's fully charged, I'm on my way to Florida, so I'll find something down there. I'm going to see if that power bank will run this, because it says 4.8 amps. Let's give it a test. Let's see if it works. Nope, no, didn't do it. Draws too much starting. Says it got a short. Alright, so it's on fan mode. Now you're going to try kick the compressor on. So we're going to try to run the fan first, so when the compressor kicks on, it's not a full surge of everything starting at once, and see if it runs it, because it technically should. There we go. It's actually running it. Maybe because the fan was on high and everything kicked on at once.
Yeah, I figured it would work.
So it's actually working and cooling, so I'll let it run and see how long it runs this. The time, what time is it? I figure we started at
7:30.
7:30, perfect time. You're not going to get any better than that. Even the frequency is still 59.60.24. You see it? Wow. Look at that. Look how clean that sine wave is. That's amazing. Let's see how many volts. 112.2, and that's RMS. Now just to compare, plugged in the wall there. So this is supplied voltage coming from the utility company. And look at that sine wave. A little deformed, right? So that unit actually has a better sine wave. Now you can see little tiny spikes, but that's because you're running the motor, probably induction kicking back, you know.
But the form is good.
Yeah, the waveform is way better. Alright, we lost 1 bar. It's at 80%. The time is 7:50. 8:05. And we're at 60%. Fan's blowing, but it's not even warm. I feel it. Time is 8:10 right now. We're at 40%. It just went to 20%, and it's 8:18. So technically at 465 watts, it's 537 watt hours. So it should go an hour at 537 watts minus internal losses. And it just kicked off and I didn't catch it. And what time is it now?
8:24.
So it didn't even go an hour. Technically, it should have went more than an hour. So I'm going to charge it back up. Technically, it should have run an hour, I would think, at that, whatever it was, 470 watts. It's supposed to be 537 watt hour battery. But, I mean, there are internal losses and everything. Did a pretty good job anyway.
Hey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Hit that bell if you want new notifications on new videos. Links for products used are in the description and on MotoCheez.com. Thanks for watching.